Hey guys! So I'm going to talk about my experience this last 3 days on my trip to see a friend. And how that affected me, or how that what I learned from that. So I went on this 3-day excursion to my friend's place, and she lives about five hours from me. And when I went there, she was just very flustered, and she picked me up in her new Mercedes Benz. She just got it this year, and she took me to her 3-bedroom, 2-bath, amazing house, and which she renovated, decorated all by herself, and got all new furniture. And but it was her demeanor. Like, I just felt like, oh gosh, she doesn't seem happy. She's not. I feel like her demeanor wasn't like, she wasn't exploding with joy, from all these things that she had. And so I just I thought about how I can be loving towards her, and how I could share part of my growth and part of my truth with her. And I started to talk to her, and I started to express what I saw to her. And my whole experience there, was just like, it was really amazing, because she basically represented the epitome of, like, the diva. She was just all about herself, and everything she talked about was me, me, me. Everything was just how great she was, or her relationship, and how men are great to her, and she just gets everybody to do everything for her. And she has that ability because she's very attractive, she's very beautiful, and she's also very persuasive. She's very charming and very wise, so she gets her fair share of attention. And so my experience there, as I went to see her, but then also another friend of mine came to that same area, and I met up with her too, and she's just the exact polar opposite. She was so sweet. She never demands anything from anybody. She's always very thoughtful, and she's just she's like a lovely churchgoer, and she doesn't really have, all her life is contributing to other people and giving of herself so much. She just obligations to different people, and then she's surrounded by problematic people who just gravitate towards her. She's like their lifeboat. And she's dependable, and she's not, you don't feel pressure being with her at all. I just feel so relaxed. And I said, I forgot how good it was to be with you. I forgot how good it felt next to your presence, because it's been a long time since I've seen her. And being with her reminded me, oh yeah, that's why we're like such good friends, because you make me just be myself. I'm just so relaxed. I don't have to think about what I say next to you. I don't have to think about anything. I could just be anything, and she would accept that. I could be loud, I could be mean, and I could be whatever. She would accept that. She was just all embracing. And she would just be, chuckling along, chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. She would just always be in a good place in her heart. She would always be happy, And so, there's like so extreme in such a short amount of time, and I went back to my other friend, because I stayed with her at her house, at the diva's house, I stayed at her house. And because my other friend, my very thoughtful friend, she just passing through. And I met up with her, exchanged some gifts, and gave hugs and love. And then she went about her way. You know, she was with some other people traveling. And then when I went back to the diva place, you know, I felt like there was bars in front of her window on her front porch, and behind where the back porch is, there's also bars. And it's like she's living like a caged bird there, you know. And she had all this pressure, like I could feel it. Just being next to her, I could feel the pressure. And she always tried to get me to do things for her. Like I felt like she's so used to demanding things from her man that it would kind of percolate into other people's lives. Like her girlfriends, she's treating as a man, you know, to do things for her. And I just said, like throughout the whole time that I was there, I said, I'm going to keep my heart open. I'm going to accept whatever experiences that she has to bring to me. And I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to keep myself from closing up. And there was quite a few times where I felt like I wanted to close up. I wanted to say negative things in my head, and I wanted to just turn away. I wanted not to, you know, go along with all her things, you know. But I said, okay, just remain open and experience this. Whatever she has to show me, fully embrace it. Don't turn away just because, you know, she's not hitting me in all the right spots and the other girl was. You know, don't turn away. She's got something for me. She's got something to teach me. So I kept myself open the whole time. And there was, like, she just annoyed me to no end. I was getting very frustrated. And then one point, I was wearing my little cap. I had a little cap on. And I was sitting down, and she started hitting my cap. We're just sitting, you know, I was doing my thing, and she just smacked me on my cap. And I could just feel this, and at that point I said I wanted to close off to her, because she was just in my face and in my, you know, just in my energy, and I wanted to close up. But then I said, no, keep my truth. Like that was what I heard, like that's what I felt was keep my truth. And so I allowed my heart to open, still remain open. And I said, okay, so keep my truth. And the truth, what was my truth at the time was that I think this woman, seriously, like I told her, I said, girl, once you get outside, it's over. Because we were at a place where it was, you know, people were working and stuff. I said, once you get outside, it's over for you. I'm going to kick your ass. And she was just like, she was just loving it. She was just getting all up in front of me with her ass ready to be kicked. She was having a good old time, and I was like, oh God. I couldn't help but laugh, you know, and I was like, so I was having a good time too. And then a few minutes later, she did it again. And at that point, I was just having fun, you know. I said, okay, you know, we'll get your ass kicked later. Because she looked like she wanted an ass beating. Because she was so bored with her, you know, with all that she got from this man. Okay, she has a man supporting her. She's so bored with her life that she just really wanted something to sock it to her, you know. And so she was having fun. And so that's like how I felt like I was dealing with the emotions that are coming to me, these buttons that she would be pushing me. And I had to speak my truth, and the truth really kind of evaporated whatever illusions that were there about that person, you know. And so so there were several times throughout my time with her that I had to keep myself open. I had to remain truthful to who I was, and to remain truthful, and not to let her get away with that, you know. Not to let her get away. I but not to not also to grab the non-truth, which was that maybe she was that you thought she was being like annoying, because maybe she wasn't, because that might not really be the truth. And then her man also, we were there, wonderful, like he was really nice to me, very sweet, cooked dinner, and brought us out to eat, and just was really sweet. And he asked me if I could videotape him working on this art that he was working on. And he wanted me to broadcast it to, like, the public, He wanted me to help him promote it. And the thing was that a lot of what they're doing, or he's doing, or he's representing, requires... He gets people to put money in for investment. Like, they would invest in him, and he's trying to take his company, he's pretty much giving stock out in order to take his company global. He's kind of like trying to make it public. And a lot of people have put money in there, and a lot of people have been working for free for him. And because they're kind of like sitting, they gave him a whole bunch of money, so then they're like, okay, well, we can help out because we don't want to see you close shop and then disappear, right? And so a lot of people are actually working for them for free, and they also asked me if I would be interested in doing this, investment. And I said, like, my gut instinct was to say, like, my gut instinct was telling me that this was like the Ponzi scheme. I felt like they were not necessarily trying to hurt people, but that what they were doing was kind of like using their resources in order to further themselves. And kind of like if somebody wanted to back out, they would give them the money, but if everybody wanted to back out, then they wouldn't have all the resources to give them, and inadvertently they would hurt people, but not meaning to, So they were pretty much in the gray area, They weren't trying to scam people, but their decisions in how they ran their life and how they worked the gray area was pretty much going to put them in a position where if it did happen, if something bad did happen, then they weren't able to cover for themselves. And that's just my gut instinct, and they didn't tell me anything. I would pick up pieces here and there, and I would make up my decision about what I felt, personally. But that, in fact, was not the truth. That was what I was feeling, but it's not the entire truth, because I don't have any proof. There was no proof of that. It was just my own feeling about them. So if I were to speak my truth on that, I couldn't quite say that I think that they're trying to scam people, but it's more like I'm not comfortable sharing what you're doing with the world yet. That's more my truth. And I'm going to finish up on the next, because I'm running out of time.